as Fairfield and Janelle Brown whips it over now to Anderson, the freshman. Finds Selimovic up top. Now Lamro drives in on the right elbow, up to Selimovic, right wing three, count it. 41-37, 9 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. Hoosiers control it. Chloe Moore-McNeil fighting off some tight defense from Janelle Brown. Garzone from the straightaway feeds it over to Sarah Scalia on the left wing. And a quick reach-in foul called there on Gallagher. A ticky-tack foul with just about 9 minutes and 20 seconds to go here. I don't know, I didn't see too much contact there, Alex.
I didn't either, but those are the ones you have to be careful of. If you know they're going to start calling fouls like that, you do have to be just a little bit more careful. You don't want to be the team that's down in that foul disparity.
Moore-McNeil dishes it off to the right corner. Garzone now up top. Feeds it back to Moore-McNeil in the right corner. The double team comes in. It's not enough on Mackenzie Holmes. She feeds it up and in. 43-37 here, under 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Indiana on top. It's Anderson from the straightaway. Whips it over to Selimovic on the right wing. Now Lamro drives in from the top of the key. Has Parrish on her back. Wide open shooter from the top of the key. It's good. Selimovic. 2 threes already here in this third quarter. Make it a 43-40 ball game. Fairfield is not going anywhere.
She's playing at the 5 for this team, but they stretch the floor with all 5 of their players, and she can shoot it very well, too, a 31% clip.
Moore-McNeil works off the screen from Garzone. Now Scalia, right wing. Almost had a beat on her defender there. Works it over to Moore-McNeil, who gets a screen from Mackenzie Holmes. Nothing doing on that. Crosses over, trying to get inside on Brown. Drives in with the right. Sydney Parrish, right corner, 3. Just off the iron. This place was ready to explode. It's still 43-40 here, 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Janelle Brown feeds it to Selimovic, right wing, now up top. Driving in is Gallagher. Think about feeding it to the hot hand now. Lamro called for the travel. A little too ambitious on the drive off Sydney Parrish. And it's headed back the Hoosier way, 43-40. Now under 8 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Those are those little turnovers that can just change your momentum a little bit. They were shooting well, and then just like that, you have an extra step, and the air is kind of let out of the balloon a little bit.
Moore-McNeil, the distributor now for Indiana. Sydney Parrish works it over to Sarah Scalia. Her own 3 goes. 46-40, Indiana on top. 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the third. Now Selimovic, right wing, works it up top to Anderson. She'll chuck one up, bank shot. She called glass. Make it a 46-43 ball game, 7 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the third now. These teams just trading shots. The offense is right now absolutely on fire. Sarah Scalia feeds it over to Moore-McNeil. She'll try a 3, why not? 49-43, 7 minutes to go in the third. Now up top, it's Magruder. Back over to Lamro on the left wing. Anderson from the top of the key, almost loses it, feeds it back over to Lamro. Indiana winding down that shot clock now. It's Magruder, drives in, feeds it back up to the top of the key. Goes in with the left, it's Selimovic, blocked by Holmes. Sarah Scalia working quickly for the Hoosiers, crosses over, takes 2 steps up and fouled. Shot won't go, 49-43 as Sarah Scalia heads to the charity stripe with 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. Oh man, Sarah Scalia, I mean, you already know how much of a great shooter she is. She shoots well from the charity stripe. But if you want to talk about transition offense, there is almost no one as speedy as Scalia.
And that's the thing. She's worked very well at being more than just a three-point sharpshooter, driving into the paint, getting layups in the half court, but she can do it in transition as well, like she just did. And that's the defense and offense that Indiana needs. They are flying.
Scalia sinks the first free throw. Yeah, coming into today for Scalia. Shooting her free throws at an 89% clip. Last season, I believe she was able to get it up to over 90. So reliable. The transfer out of Minnesota now makes it a 51-43 ball game. A pretty decent lead for the Hoosiers now. Fairfield, top of the key, Lamro gets it over to the free throw line, resets. trying to work it inside now. Lamro finds Magruder. Working off a screen from Selimovic. She's backed up in trouble, has to chuck up a three. Nothing on that shot. It's going the way of the Hoosiers. Indiana maintaining the 8-point lead here with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. And we'll see Sydney Parrish inbound here to Chloe Moore McNeil as Lily Meister gives Mackenzie Holmes a much-needed break and well-deserved break for the Hoosiers.
It's been suffocating defense for Indiana, both to end the half and to start this one. They've been forcing late shot clock decisions for Fairfield. That's not what they want when Indiana is turning it into a track meet on the other side.
Very fast-paced game here. Sydney Parrish, right wing three, you bet! 54-43, Indiana's biggest lead of the night. Anderson tries to triple, off the iron, offensive board now. Top of the key, Janelle Brown. Puts down, head of steam, drives in, blocked by Sydney Parrish, but on the drive is fouled. 17-14 the score here at Memorial Stadium. Michigan State Spartans take the lead with 9 minutes and 26 seconds to go in the game today. Hadn't scored since right before the end of the first half, but on a topsy-turvy drive that ends up on a long fourth down, they go with Kim, who they've been hesitant to use throughout this entire game, and he converts for them, putting them up by 3, and now kicking off to Jalen Lucas, set back near the goal line. Lucas headed over towards the ball. He'll let it sail over his head. Since that one return by Lucas that he took out about 35, 40 yards, Michigan State has 100% avoided him at all costs. So now Sorsby with the chance for Indiana to make some things happen here. You know, Sorsby, he's been good with his decision-making today, and that's what you've seen from him all season. You know, not too many interceptions overall, 3, 2 in his last 2 games. But today he's protected the ball well. But maybe it's time now to get a little bit more explosive, take some more risks downfield, and make sure you're hitting your receivers where you need to. So now Sorsby setting the shotgun with Trent Howland to his right. E.J. Williams alone at the top of the field. And a bunch formation on the near side of the field. 1st and 10 from the 25. Handing this one off now, making his way forward is Howland. A good gain of about 4 yards on the play, and they have done that so great throughout this second half, is establishing the run on first down, making sure they've got second and manageable, and just continuing to move forward. Now, can you stack those opportunities on top of each other? Howland still the back. 2 receivers bunched up on the far side. Here comes Lucas back towards Sorsby. Sorsby handing this one off once again to Howland. Stumbles his way forward into a pile. That'll bring up 3rd and about 2. Gain of 3 on the play. Howland powering through. Avery Dunn making the stop for Michigan State here. 3rd and 2 from their own 33-yard line. Approaching 8 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the game. Down 3, 2 backs behind Sorsby. Once again, he feeds Howland. A flag flies on the play. He's got enough for the first down. But let's see what the penalty will be on this one.
And that's why penalties can be drive killers. I mean, you set yourself up with 3rd and short. If this is going to be a hold, you turn it to 3rd and 12.
An offsides on Michigan State.
Never mind.
A good turn of events for the Hoosiers. Don't have to worry about that 3rd and 12. Offsides on Chester Kimbrough. Wouldn't have mattered anyway. Howland was well past the sticks on that one up the middle of the field. 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line, their own, with 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the game. 17-14 the score. Michigan State on top of the Hoosiers. Trent Howland set behind Sorsby in the shotgun. Jalen Lucas makes his way over. This time handed off to Howland, reverses the field towards his left, up past the 45, dives down at the 43. A good gain of 7 on the play once again. Malik Spencer coming in for the Spartans to make the tackle. And this is exactly the type of drive that led to the touchdown, the first of the day for Indiana. And another injury timeout here. I mean, this is getting ridiculous at this point, Joe. So many injuries today. It's a sight that you just hate to see. And it's Trent Howland down for Indiana, gingerly making his way towards the sideline. Especially on senior day near the end of the year in a game that doesn't mean too much to either team. It's just a tough sight to see.
Well, they're not playing like it doesn't mean much. This has been a physical, chippy game all day long. You've seen the emotion boil up a couple of times. But as you mentioned, obviously, you never want to see a whole lot of injuries. And both of these teams come into today very bruised and banged up. It's been a war of attrition.
Taking a look at that injury report for Michigan State, looks like a grocery list. Over 30 players, whether that be unavailable, doubtful, or questionable coming into today. It's just so spread thin, this Michigan State secondary especially. They've held their own today, keeping Indiana to 14 points. 2nd and 4 from their own 47, under 8 minutes to go in the game. Josh Henderson now the back behind Sorsby. 2 receivers on the near side, and a lone one in E.J. Williams up on the far side. Sorsby gets the snap in the shotgun, hands this one off to Henderson, has a hole up to the 50, the 45, hurdles a man at the 40. Henderson shows off the athleticism, points his way for the first down.
You know, Noel, from our point of view, you can actually see Assembly Hall from right here. And with bunnies like that jumping out of the gym, oh my goodness, Josh Henderson, you might need to walk onto the basketball team.
Well, Henderson was a wide receiver back in high school. You got to have hops to play that position. He shows him off there. Sorsby in the shotgun. Thinks about giving it to Henderson. Once again, he keeps it. He'll step up in the pocket, taking off. He's at the 40, pump fakes forward, up to the 35. He's still up 30, out of bounds at the 25. First down, Hoosiers.
There's something about a quarterback pump faking and getting a defensive player to jump when he's already past the line of scrimmage that just fits so well into the game.
Especially a game between two teams like this. Under 7 minutes to go in the game. 17-14, Michigan State on top of the Hoosiers. 1st and 10 from Michigan State's 26-yard line. Henderson, the back behind Sorsby. 2 receivers bunched up to the top. Once again, they'll bring Lucas in. He's got McCulley to his left. Hands this one off to Henderson. Fights his way up the B gap, up towards the 21-yard line. And forward progress will keep him right there. A gain of about 5 on the play. It was Aaron Brule. Brought him out of bounds. Approaching 6 minutes to go in the game. 2nd and 5.
Welcome back. And Noel, it seems like we talk about women's soccer every week, but they just finished up the regular season, and it was a really good one.
No, definitely. And they're looking to have an even better postseason. So let's get things started with IU women's soccer's latest road trip. Indiana women's soccer ended their regular season on a high note with a 2-0 victory against Maryland in College Park. Capping off a fantastic campaign, who else but Paige Weber put the Hoosiers on the board first with a foot race to grab her 12th goal of the year. Lauren Costello grabbed her 2nd goal of the season off the set-piece assist from Anna Bennett. The Hoosiers now set their eyes to the Big Ten tournament, where they hold a 5 seed and are set to play 4 seed Penn State. Up north in Evanston, Indiana men's soccer dropped a big game against Northwestern, 1-0, snapping a 4-game win streak. Despite outshooting Northwestern 21-4, a lone goal in the 25th minute by Nigel Prince proved to be the difference maker. With a chance to shoot up in the Big Ten rankings, Indiana fell short, remaining at 4th overall. Indiana now needs a Penn State and Northwestern loss in order to have a chance to clinch the Big Ten title. The Hoosiers look ahead to their final 2 matches of the season against Trine and Rutgers. Another week, another disappointing loss for Indiana football, this time at home against Rutgers. The Rutgers Scarlet Knights marched into Bloomington on homecoming weekend and left with a 31-14 victory. Newly pronounced starter Brendan Sorsby struggled to get things going for the Indiana offense, finishing with less than 50% of his passes completed and just 126 yards through the air. With just 5 games left in the regular season, IU football and head coach Tom Allen will look for anything to make a spark and potentially grab some momentum. Now let's shift from varsity athletics to club. The IU club hockey team is off to their best start in 15 years. At 11-2, the IU club hockey team has rolled through the competition and is showing no signs of slowing down. The team comes off a 3-game win streak after taking down UNC, Virginia Tech, and NC State at the Tri-State Atlantic Coast Showcase. We'll have more on the team next week as they face off against Kentucky this weekend.